Yeah. We are now at episode 294 at the best pure hip-hop show on Friday nights, but we choose to shoot one on a special Sunday night. Welcome everyone to Off the Cuff Radio. I'm your host of the evening, King Eric the Great, and we are sponsored by Buddy Boy Entertainment and Dirty Basement, and we have a special show lined up tonight right here. So, before I go on and bring these two guys on, let me be the first to say is to follow us on Instagram or Guillotine 2018. The Real Rick Capo, follow us there. So, what I'm going to do is two special people on the line right now. My buddy from Pittsburgh, he's my guest co-host of the evening, Pittsburgh Pat. I'm about to bring him on now. About to bring Pat on right now, see where he at.
Yo, what's
He's
happening?
the reason why the show is going down for the night.
Yo, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to you guys, and I also want to give a shout out to J Hood and Big Twins and the whole Infamous Mobb, man. Because every time I've called on J Hood, I know there might be a little misunderstanding tonight, and Hood might not be here, but with J Hood and the entire Infamous Mobb and Illa G, every single time I've called on these guys, man, they always stepped up for me, man. And they provided me with some of my favorite moments doing interviews, man. I mean that shit for real. That's why I'm so cool with these guys, man, for real. So shout out to the whole Infamous Mobb. You know, shout out Havoc, rest in peace Prodigy. I mean that for real. You know, so shout out to all those guys, man, for real.
And you know what, man? We got to give him put some respect on his name for the night, man, for our guest right here. Part of the Infamous Mobb, part of the legendary Mobb Deep clique, and still putting it down 20 years later plus. Hard rhymes, hard bars, consistent dope material. And he currently has a new album out with J Hood, which is pretty dope as well. So
oh my God,
let's put some respect on my man's name, and let's bring out Big Twins from the Infamous Mobb, y'all.
Yeah, what's good? What's poppin', y'all? How y'all doing, man?
Man, Twins, what up, bro?
Word, man.
Yo, man,
yes,
this joint you made with J Hood, man, that shit is classic. That shit we just played right there, that Where Will I Go? Man, I've been bumping that shit, I think, since I got interviewed you, man. I think he put that on his Fourth Lock mixtape, too. And,
yep.
Yeah, man, that shit is, like, that's just timeless right there, man. You could have played that shit for me 20 years ago and it would have been dope. And you play it now and it's dope. Yeah, what made you do, like, I know you've done some collab projects in the past, man, but, like, how did that come about, you and J Hood, man? I think that's ill as hell, man. Like, I love that collab. How'd that come about?
Basically, we was both staying in the city of Charlotte. So my son lives in Charlotte. His family from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So we both was in the city, and we both was using this one dude that got a studio. So when I seen him over there, I was like, yo, let me get you on the joint. And then he was like, yeah, I got something for you to get on. Then we start kicking it. Like, let's do it like an EP real quick and put it out. You know what I mean? But then, a lot of other stuff happened. He went somewhere else. I went somewhere else. And we never got it done, but we finally got it, put it together, and we put it out.
Yeah,
and you
man.
guys have great
The
chemistry, man.
Is great.
Yeah, man. He always liked the way he rhymed, and, the locks and the whole movement, D-Block, and, the Infamous is similar. So, it was just perfect for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good to see that, man, because, I mean, like, some of my favorite Mobb Deep albums had, the locks on them, Jadakiss, Style Chic. It's cool to see, like, this much longer after that, to see, like, a collaboration off of them collabs from back in the day, you know what I mean? And the fact that you guys took it serious, and you didn't just put out some bullshit. You guys made some, like, serious records on there, man. We really appreciate that shit for real, man.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, we just try to be real with ourselves. So that's why, you know, we came with that hard shit, man. That's what we like to do. So that's what we've been doing. And ain't nothing changed, you know what I mean?
No doubt, man.
Before we continue, I'm about to go ahead and bring my other co-hosts in the building. We got my man T-Max with the facts. We about to bring him on. We got Pittsburgh Pat.
What it do, y'all?
Big Twins from the Infamous Mobb, y'all. It's a big party right here.
What's good, y'all?
QB, stand up. What's going on with y'all, man? How y'all doing?
Chilling,
man. We're living, man. We got real legend in the house tonight, man. Infamous Mobb's own Big Twins, man.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on, Pat? How you?
Man,
I'm chilling,
you know.
man. Just chilling out.
Definitely, man, definitely. And now Twins, man, for real, back when I was on my other show, man, Jay Hood actually provided me with one of my favorite moments, man. I interviewed him. It was either the day after or 2 days after P had passed, and I had like this moment on like I didn't even plan it or anything, man. I like just by the time like he was the first time I went on air after P had died, and I brought it up, and we just had like this moment where it was like damn, man, this is Biggie dying all over again. This is this is Big L dying. It was that it was like the first time it hit us.
Rest in peace to all the legends, man. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Prodigy,
like it was the first time it hit us. Like, damn, man, like this is as big as the loss you can take. Now, I quietly watched from a distance because I've had problems with it. I'm not even gonna mention the dude's name because there's more than just him. But a lot of people, even after P had died, man, they still chose to slander him. We all know what happened with the mural and everything. And I just wanted to, tip my cap to you, man, because like I said, I watched from a distance, man. I saw you and Nitty and Godfather Part 3, man. I watched all you guys ride out for him and keep his name alive, man. It's a shame that people, petty-ass people that don't have the name that Prodigy had, that want to slander his name even in death. You know what I mean? I just think that that's petty and corny. And I'm sure you might know who I'm talking about. But
yeah, of course.
I just want to show you some love, man. I really like seeing you stick up for your man like that. And
basically,
us real ones, we got your back, bro. You know what I mean?
That kid that was locked up in jail basically sent the kite to somebody else. Somebody else threw some paint on the wall. But see, for them, they didn't look at the bigger picture because it was actually almost 1,000 murals all around the world. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me to I was ready to hurt somebody behind it. You know what I mean? But then I started thinking about it. Then I see somebody put a video together with all the murals. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even mad at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let it go. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to mention the guy's name that I was talking about, man, because the dude's kind of notorious for just running his fucking mouth. He got no talent. He got a camera. He got a camera phone, and that's his fucking talent. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't want to mention his mouth or mention his name. I just wanted to salute you on that, man, because I saw you defend your boy in the proper way, man. And we know those guys only talk tough behind their phones. They don't talk tough in person.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
it's always been like that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always been like that, man. So I did want to just, tip my cap to you, man, because I saw you riding for your boy. And, just know Pittsburgh rides with you, too, man. No doubt, man. We don't, I don't appreciate that clown shit, bro. And, I appreciate the way you handled that, man, for real.
Thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate you. You guys also put it down musically as well. Because I can sense when I'm listening to you guys that the spirit of Prodigy still live within you guys, all three of y'all. So y'all keep that consistency going.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. We got a bunch of new music coming out real soon, man. So you're gonna hear all that real mob, infamous, mafia type shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Real quick, I just wanted to also give you respect on the album you did with Skiz, man. The Billy Ocean project.
Oh yeah. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks, man.
Man,
that's my,
I don't think that got enough attention, man. That joint was unique, man. It had its own sound, and that was just I don't know how that project came together, man. But the way you guys did that album, man, I've been stuck on that album for a long time, man. Especially, I mean, the joint with Royal Flush, and then that the Key Sweat murder with Conway. Man, that shit, that whole, I mean, it's only, 8-9 tracks, right?
Yeah, 8 tracks on there.
Yeah, man, that whole project was just crazy to me, man. I every time I make a playlist, man, I swear, I throw at least 2-3 joints of that shit on there, man. That joint was crazy. Shout out to DJ Skiz, man.
Oh, yeah, Skiz all day. That's my thing. We got part 2 coming out, too, so look out for Billy Ocean and Tina Marie coming real soon, produced by Skiz. Tina Marie is Chinky.
Oh, man.
So that's coming real soon. But I just dropped the album on February 18th. Me and Dirty Diggs, and Big Twins. It's called Queensbridge. It's out right now. I just dropped it on February 18th.
Okay.
Oh, you just dropped that?
I'm always pushing. I just dropped that just now.
Oh, man,
okay,
I'm going to have to go
Twins,
get that right now.
Listening to Chinky, you talking about Shorty that was initially singing on the tracks, right?
Yeah, the one that was singing on the Billy Ocean track. She was singing on my Grammy Life. I don't know if y'all got a hold of Grammy Life, did y'all?
No.
Yeah.
But I know what Chinky is.
Yo. Matter of fact, we propped it up on the Off the Cuff Radio group on Facebook. I was like, man, this is that ice pick music right here.
Grammy Life, I got Alchemist on there, Prodigy, Havoc, the Infamous Mobb, Planet Asia, Razkaz. I got a bunch of people on there. The shit is a classic. 16 tracks. I came out with that in the end of 2018. So I've been dropping so much music that it just kind of it's just so much, you know what I mean? Some people catch on to some of this, some people catch on to some of that. So it's kind of, it helps me. I'm happy with what I'm doing, you know what I mean?
Oh, no doubt, man. You guys all drop good stuff, man. Like, I on my old show, man, I interviewed you, Godfather 3, and Ty Nitty, and I always wanted to get you guys all three together. But the reason I never really tried to do it was because I just felt if I had all three of you on the line at the same time, all of you guys stayed busy. So it would be hard to talk about what all you guys are doing, you know what I mean? And
we can orchestrate it because
we really appreciate that shit, man, for real. Like, it's true hip-hop heads, man. Like, I live on the East, and, I appreciate what the Greselda guys are doing, man. Like, they bring that old school New York back. But
Hell yeah.
I really appreciate that from those guys, man. And they even got major deals, and they didn't switch up. And that's what I respect about them. You know what I mean? But
yep.
A lot of people
that's the best thing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, like, just because something ain't on the radio don't mean it ain't there, man. And like, just back in 2007, we had dope albums from Cool G Rap and MC Shan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they don't know that everything we loved in the 80s and 90s is still here. You know what I'm saying? And that's
right.
Great. But speaking of, like, Griselda, I know we just mentioned that you worked with Conway and everything. What do you think of those guys, and what do you think, like, is there any other new guys that you look to and you're like, all right, man, like, this thing's in good hands, you know what I mean?
I got this other kids out of Rochester named Riggs and his crew. They dope. You got Ito and them. You got Pounds, Rock Marciano. You got, of course, Planet Asia.
Shout out to Rock.
Legends.
Yeah.
You got it's Oh, that's a bunch of them now. There's so many of them now. I'm happy.
I hear a lot of guys, man, that like they make me proud, man. Like, there's some guys I hear and I'm like, man, that's Cold G Rap right there, or that's Rakim right there. Like, that's a direct descent of those
like
guys.
38 Special was dope too.
Man,
it's a lot of us now.
Oh yeah.
Now for me, we look at it like this. The way kind of what's going on right now is we kind of looking at like a movement. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Griselda's definitely in front of the movement, but it's a lot of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of holding their old weight. So that's kind of what's going on right now. It's a good look right now. I like what's going on.
Yeah.
Definitely, Twins. Now, I wanted to ask you this because Griselda, as you said, and of course we're all fans because a lot of people, I wanted to ask you two questions in terms of, from one, how have you seen the music change from where, because you guys were among the second generation of QB rappers, of course, QB never stopped coming, but Mobb Deep really brought it back to the, prevalence, of course, Nas, Lakey the Kid, everybody, that would come, Cormega that would come, from the old school and would, carry on tradition. How have you seen the marketing in terms of the, hardcore hip-hop change, and especially with Griselda because it's so atypical yet so awesome of what they've been able to do with their grind. How do you see them being maybe able to influence the next generation of dope MCs where beats and rhymes, and especially the rhymes of it, really begin to come back into the game in terms of at the forefront of what real skill is?
With the whole situation, like for me, I look at it like the way it changed is we kind of painted an incredible picture. You know what I'm saying? And the way it is now is incredible lines and verses. You know what I'm saying? We kind of, it wasn't like us kicking incredible bars, but we was painting a whole picture of a song. You know what I'm saying? And I think now it's a little different. It's more about saying some incredible, slick, you know what I'm saying? Like really going in on the bars. I kind of like that because it's almost like, not like battle rap, because kind of you hear the verse more than you pay attention more to the verse than what you pay to the hook. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different the way we used to do it. People probably pay more attention to the hook and the beat and then the verse. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. Like I like the way it is now. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's gonna have a lot of the kids sharp with the pen now. A lot of kids are gonna have to be more clever, more just gotta think about it instead of just jotting down anything. So it's a good thing, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Now look, man, I gotta say this, especially Twins. That verse you spit on Mob Niggas, I was like, woo. And I
know the hardest verse ever heard.
Man, I mean, I got that joint. I got that joint special edition. I remember that distinctly back in 2003. I still have the cassette. And when I first heard it, that's the one track and the whole album was just unbelievable. But that one track, especially with Alchemist doing it, I was like, doom, 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 doom. I was like, what is this?
That shit is hard. I ain't gonna front.
Man,
that's one of the.
He would have jumped out of my car.
Don't worry.
Look, I want to carjack my own whip behind that.
That's that hype up right
there. Me, Alchemist. I'm out here. I live in LA, so Alchemist out here. We working on the album too. We're gonna drop out this year too. We coming. Me, Alchemist, and then Infamous Mobb. We got an album we coming out with too. So I'm just working. I got a bunch of shit I'm about to drop. Almost every month I'm gonna have a new album. So gotta keep dropping.
Yeah, man. You guys drop a lot of music, and I'm amazed by the quality of the music. There's a lot of people that drop a lot of music, but like you can tell it's kind of lazy. They're just like, lyrical for no reason, and they just have like a song with a beat and they just rap. Like, you know what I mean? But like when I listen to you guys' music, man, they're like actual songs. They have meaning to them. There's content. You know what I mean? And like, man, that's something that's rare nowadays, and to some aspect. You know what I mean? But the fact that you guys drop so much music and the quality of those songs, man, like a lot of that shit you guys be spitting is deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. For me, I just say I gotta give it up to the producer because, you know, I always find the right beat for some reason. I always something that always fit me. I'm just like an expert at that. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? So that's what really solidified my whole career is I always get the right beat. Without the right beat, you know, I can't create the right song. You know what I'm saying? So that's really my strong point.
Yeah, no doubt,
And
man.
You know what's really dope about you guys is that you guys have unique styles too. It's like whenever you see a group come together that's built like when a rapper blows up and he put his homies on, all them cats sound alike, but you guys here, you'll have this instinctive styles. Like your voice, you could tell by what we hear in Big Twins, just by your voice alone, your delivery.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I kind of Griselda is shining because they all three sound different. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of why they're shining because all three of them sound different. None of them sound the same. It's just different. You know what I mean? So it's dope.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite thing about the Infamous Mobb with you, Nitty, and Godfather is I never have to guess who's the one spitting this verse. You guys all have your own unique voice, your own unique flow, and you all approach the track in a different way, but at the same time they all match up. Like, you know what I mean? Like the chemistry you guys have together is just ill to me. Like that's why I always love hearing that shit.
Wait till you hear the new Infamous Mobb album. You're gonna go crazy. Watch. This is
man,
really
I
good.
can't wait, man. Well, and when's that due?
I'm dropping. I dropped J Hood on 30th of 2019 of December. Then I dropped the album February 18th. So I'm dropping another album April 1st. And then Infamous Mobb will come May 7th.
Okay, y'all.
Easter.
Wow. And then after that, I'll drop the Alchemist joint. I think around June or July. No. The Cons, Tough Cons. They like Italy. They do vinyl for everybody. I did an EP with them. That'll be out on like I think June. And then July, I'll come with TNT with me and my man Twins, the Beat Pro. And then I think August, September, I'll come with the Alchemist joint. So that's my whole schedule.
Oh, wow, man. That's a lot to look forward to, man. Definitely a lot to look forward to.
I'm pushing.
Now, I do have one kind of history question for you. Now, when Havoc went on Drink Champs with DJ EFN and Nori, shout out to those guys, by the way, he said his main influence was the Juice Crew. Do you agree with him? Do you feel the same way? Was that your main influence coming up? Is that what made you want to rap?
Yeah, because they was right there in our face. Marley Marl from our block. I used to go to the store for him all the time, so he's right here on the block. He got Lord of the Underground, Big Daddy Kane, Roxanne Shante, Craig G, just like everybody. So that kind of really inspired us. You know what I'm saying? That's the beginning of Juice Crew, definitely.
Yeah,
oh man,
Cool G Rap's my favorite lyricist of all time.
Of course,
like,
he right there in Queens, so we used to see him all the time coming through Queensbridge. Actually, DJ Polo got a baby by girl in Queensbridge, and Eric B got a baby in Queensbridge too. So you know, what I mean? That's what we used to all. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean?
Now, Twins, I got to ask you this because you are among the royalty, the living legends of QB. When all of y'all came up, did any of you know? I mean, you had, and even with, it's you all basically write a damn book by yourselves in terms of what y'all contributed. Did y'all know that so many of you were going to end up being legendary figures in terms of when y'all first started?
We never thought we was gonna be legends. You know what I mean? You know, I say, we never looked at it like that. We looked at it like we was trying to make some money, represent the hood. You know what I'm saying? Where we come from. We never really thought about the legendary status. You know what I'm saying? Like the way it's thrown around now. You know, back in the days, it wasn't really thrown around like that. Like when we was coming up, and we look at Big Daddy Kane and them, we look like that. But I guess we look at them as legends, of course. But
right,
we never thought about that with us. Never. I never looked at it like that until people start saying that. You know what I mean? And then 20 years in, we did a lot, traveled the world, did all this. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
you know
I understand what you're saying, man. Like. While you were growing up listening to the Juice Crew, in the moment you probably didn't realize how important and forever those guys would be. And when I was growing up listening to Mobb Deep and and Nas and Cormega and all those guys, I didn't know same with Biggie and Pac and everybody. I didn't know that those guys were. I didn't think 20 years down the road that I'm going to look back on those days and just be like, damn.
I've been with Mobb Deep my whole life. I didn't realize how big P was until he passed. You know what I'm saying?
I think one thing that is missed in a lot of things. Oh, no doubt. I think one thing that's missed is I think people sleep on Havoc's production as well.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of people's favorite G Unit songs produced by Havoc, Y by Jadakiss produced by Havoc, and I don't think people really appreciated how deep Mobb Deep really was, and how much their sound rubbed off on a lot of people, and how unique the Mobb Deep sound was, and how far it went. I don't think people really understood that in the moment, and that's why I feel that sometimes they get slept on just a little bit, because I don't, Havoc, to me, Havoc and P at the same time, I don't think that the fame meant much to them. It is, Havoc didn't
I look like
produced by Havoc on everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I look at Havoc and P as the best rap group in hip hop. Period. Nobody can get on stage and produce that many hits as Havoc and P. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? So, Havoc, for me, Havoc he won a Grammy. I think he won 2 Grammys with Kanye West album. He did 2 Grammys on his album too. That was recently too. So, for me, like you said, he don't get recognized that much. I don't think as far as his production. But if you put him up, a perfect example, Alchemist is a monster. You know what I mean? Nobody can fuck with him. He's number 1 right now. But if you put him up against Havoc, it's hard to say that he's better than Havoc, because Havoc did 2 platinum albums, 5 fucking gold albums. You know what I'm saying? And he produced those himself.
And Havoc didn't have one sound either. He experimented with a lot of different things and made countless different types of records. You know what I mean? Where you didn't hear the beat and be like, oh, this is Havoc. Like how you think of a Dr. Dre. Like when you hear a Dr. Dre beat, you know it's a Dr. Dre beat. You know what I mean? But Havoc did so many different styles of beats that I think that's what made him crazy. But that's always been one of my favorite producers, man. And there was a time, people forget that.
If you look at
people forget that there was a time that Prodigy was considered the top MC in New York. People forget that. When he dropped his solo album, there was a 3-year period where the conversation was Jay, Nas, and Prodigy. That's real facts. People really, you know what I mean? And people forget that, man, and rightfully so. That he should have been considered the best.
Especially around the time when Murder Music was coming out, and he dropped on Quiet Storm, then came with Illustrious. which is one of the hardest versions that he did.
But one thing that Prodigy doesn't get enough credit for is he was one of the first dudes that were at the top of the East Coast to put a South dude on a song. When he did the song with BG.
We got Black
he was one of the first guys to do that, and people don't give him credit for that. He was one of the first guys that did that.
Don't forget the first time they did it was with 8-Ball MJG. Remember that? That was the first time.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Album.
Yes, sir.
That was the first time. So they've been on it. We like it. I'm saying for me, when the South dude rhymes regular, like the way we rhyme, and he got the accent, it sounds dope. So P always liked it that. So that's why you like, yo, we got to get them on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one thing that Mobb Deep doesn't get credit for. It is to step outside the region, and at that time especially, where everybody had their specific sound, and to make a record and put somebody from a different region that had a totally different sound on your record, like that was a big leap to take. Because I mean, like I said, everybody had their own sound back then, so it's hard to. Nobody's willing to take that risk back then. But he was one of the Mobb Deep was one of the first ones to do that. I didn't look it up or anything, but I know that's one of the first albums I heard that had people from the South on it. And you know, a lot of those guys ended up being legends themselves. And free BG, by the way. You know what I mean? But
yes.
But yeah, man, they don't. Mobb Deep gets slept on a lot. I don't know why either, man. Because Mobb Deep, like, man, the amount of ill shit that the Mobb Deep and Infamous Mobb made over the years, man, is just insane, man.
You know, it's crazy,
we actually going on.
Oh, go ahead.
A tour. We actually doing a tour. Nobody knows this. I'm gonna be the first time to say it.
We get exclusive here.
So we're doing a tour.
Exclusive.
We're doing a tour. Infamous Mobb, Noid, Chinky, Havoc, Alchemist, the whole crew. We're doing the tour 30 days across the United States. It's coming up. We're working on it. It might be in June, I think, June, July, around that time.
Okay,
if you don't come to Pittsburgh, man, if you don't come to Pittsburgh, we fight, Twins.
You know what's so funny?
Carolina.
Gotta come to VA too. Gotta come to Virginia. Gotta come to Virginia.
Virginia's on the list.
Okay, Hampton Roads. Where at? Hampton Roads or
Hampton Roads? I'm not even sure exactly. I know I've been seeing the states that we're supposed to be going to. That's all. I ain't see the venue and all.
Got you.
Man,
okay.
that's
we'll be posting it up real soon, so y'all know it'll be all around the whole United States. It'll be like 30 shows. It'll probably be more than that after a while. You know what I mean? So, about to go to work.
Man, that's great to hear, man. That's great.
Yeah, a lot of people. See, we did the show at Matters. What was it? Radio Music, the Loud 25th anniversary.
Oh yeah. You guys did that.
Yeah.
Who was on that? That was 3-6 Mafia and Dead Prez on that.
Wu-Tang, Beatnuts, just all the Loud artists.
Yeah.
So,
man,
we did that show, and then we decided we was gonna do a tour together. So we're gonna do one big tour with the whole crew, represent P, do a nice little tribute every night to P. And just do it right, you know what I'm saying?
Man, that's great, man.
Now, Twins, I got to
man,
ask
that's great.
As well. You know what's really dope to hear as well is that the type of love that the Infamous Mobb and Mobb Deep had from the West Coast, especially around that time where it was East versus West at the time, and the mob was going through the West Coast like it wasn't a thing. So that shows at the end of the day,
it was good.
It was appreciation. It was still love there, and people cared about the music first and foremost.
Yep. We even Ibama is a Havoc and Prodigy out in Los Angeles too. So, you know, we had to have a sit down with them. It got a little crazy for a minute, but it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah, because I remember y'all he did that West Coast mixtape. Like they was rapping over West Coast beats.
Yeah, that's just that. We got a lot of love for that. Wow.
That's a rarity right there.
Yeah, people out here, you know, because think about it though, they were doing some hardcore hip hop, gangster rap, and you know, kind of be similar. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of, you know, gravitate to that better than the other shit that was coming out of New York.
Definitely. Now, Twins, I gotta ask you. Man. Because for what y'all did, there are certain boroughs, of course, that just, you know, Harlem has theirs, you know, Brooklyn has theirs, but QB has a style all of its own in terms of the grit, the hustle, the hardship, the strife, but the determination, perseverance, and triumph to succeed against all odds that are set. What makes QB what it is in terms of the type of, it gives you all the inspiration to do what you've done in such an outstanding and distinguished fashion?
I gotta say, if we all look at it, all the artists in Queensbridge look at like what really give us inspiration, you gotta say Marley Marl. We all gotta say Marley Marl. You know what I'm saying? He really inspired all of us. You know what I'm saying? To really like take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. I believe that if it wasn't for Marley Marl, I don't think Queensbridge would be this great. You know what I'm saying? It had to spark from somewhere. You know what I mean? And it was better instead of sparking from an artist, a rapper, it sparked from a producer. So we all knew how to make records. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we analyze. You know what I'm saying? So instead of analyzing just writing rhymes, we analyze how to put a song together because that's what Marley Marl was doing. He was making records, being a producer. So I can say we all the artists from Queensbridge is like producers, you know, and artists, even though we don't press the buttons and make beats. But I think getting that from Marley Marl helped us mold our sound, you know what I'm saying? And that really took us to where we are now.
Now you speak of Marley Marl, who's a legend in himself. For our listeners who may not be familiar, I have three words to say about that in terms of the particular project. In Control Volume 1, In Control Volume 2, and I'm a liar because there's 4. LL Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out, which he did the whole thing. And of course, the Reentry project he dropped in 2001. Oh my God!
Yeah, and you know, for me, like you know, the what's it called, Biz Markie joints he did, and Master Ace, and Lords of the Underground, and like I can go forever. You know what I mean? Like he really
that whole Cold Chillin' roster
produce a record.
Great.
Yeah,
crazy.
Man, the Symphony, Juice Crew. I mean, whoa.
Well, a lot of people don't even really talk about this, but Cold Chillin' is the birth of the Wu-Tang Clan. Jizza was on Cold Chillin'. That was the first recording of any member of the Wu-Tang Clan. Jizza was on Cold Chillin'.
That's true.
And then, you know, of course, the Wu-Tang Clan got formed after that, but man, like what they got, like what Cold Chillin' had back in the day, man, even with cats like, you know, the less talked about guys like Granddaddy IU, and man, they're just that roster is just ridiculous with Shan and G-Rap and Kane, like that whole roster is just so ill, man, and I loved what it spawned after that. I love the fact that, you know, we heard the Juice Crew influence on Illmatic. You know, we heard it. You know, we heard it in Mobb Deep. We heard it in everybody from Queens, man, and just to see how far that influence went, and it's still alive, man. That shit will never die, bro. You know what I mean?
Never.
Just 3 years ago, Shan and G-Rap just both dropped quality albums. Havoc produced a beat for Shan on his last album. The bars that were bullshit. But
wow,
just the influence of all that. You know, my man right there just called Marley Marl a legend. Like, man, nah, he's an icon. Like that dude. He's the epitome of hip hop. Like that's the definition of hip hop right there.
And it's great.
You're right about that.
it's great. It's also great to see guys coming from our era and the era just still doing it today at the caliber, at high caliber. You know what I mean? Because we live in a time where we battling a lot of things within the culture, like ageism. We battling young versus old. We battling old school versus new school. It's just a whole lot of battles going on within the culture, and it's great to see you guys still standing tall, putting it down, just keeping it consistent in the music flowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it now because for me, I kind of built a whole new fan base. Like a lot of people don't even know. I got a fan base right now that don't even know I'm part of Mobb Deep or Infamous. All they know is Big Twins. You know what I mean? So it's kind of dope now that you kind of can recreate yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Hello?
No doubt.
Yeah. You know, and it's just wild to think about it because one thing, you know, a lot of artists we look at today, the music is just a lot of times a packaged product. It's recycled. Everything is the same. But the stuff you all did going back, you know, over 20 years ago still sounds fresh to this day. I mean, it's the standard by which, in my eyes, and you know, of course, I think Pat and King would agree, I think you all still have one of the benchmarks for what real New York hip-hop is supposed to sound like in terms of really, you know, it's New York is just that city. I mean, it's the birthplace of hip-hop.
Well, look, I'm not from New York, but let me just say one thing. New York is held to an unfair standard a lot of times. If they don't make the shit that everybody expects them to make, they get criticized and saying that they're trying to sound like some other region. New York gets judged unfairly a lot, and I don't think that's fair. They created hip hop, and if anyone's allowed to make any kind of sound they want to make, New York's the place that can do it because they invented this shit. So I don't know what the fuck people are saying. Everyone's always saying New York fell off, New York fell off. New York's never gonna fall off. I can name you 1,000 rappers from New York right now that are ill as fuck. They're dope, and I can name you any style you want, and there's somebody that's dope in New York. New York will never fall off. It came from here, and like I said, man, if there's a Cali dude that makes a New York sounding record, nobody criticizes the dude. You know what I mean? But if a New York dude spits on you know, a G-Funk type beat, they're like, oh, look, dude's a sellout, and blah, blah. Like, nah, man, that they get judged, they get critiqued on an unfair scale. For some reason, I think it's just because of the dominance of New York and the fact that there's a billion great rappers from New York, and that's where the Source was, and you know, all the big magazines and everything. Everybody used to criticize the Source because they were New York biased. Yeah, they probably were. They were from New York. The fuck, you know what I mean? Like, if you was from the West, you would cover more West. You know what I mean? Like look at, you know, Big Boy. Over there on the West Coast. He has a lot of West Coast guests. Do we criticize him for that? No, he's from the West. Like, over here on the East, man, we never hated on anybody, man. We loved what we heard from other places, man. We always did. I'm sure Twins would agree with me. We always loved that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
We knew the Ghetto Boys were dope. Like, we knew, you know, like the Dog Pound was dope. We knew all those guys were, like, you know, everything. We recognize talent when we hear it. It's just not fair that, you know, the minute somebody tries to make a different sounding record from New York, all of a sudden they're judged like they're sellouts or anything. I just think that's an unfair judgment on New York because New York's never going nowhere.
And right now with music right now is like, you know how they always say hip hop when we came up it was the golden era. Well, you can look at it was the golden era, and It was the golden era in basketball. It was the golden era in football. Everything was the golden era when we came up. Now everything is watered down. The food don't taste the same. This, that, everything is watered down. So it's just what it is now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit is watered down.
One thing
now.
I did want to ask you about though is comparing how things were back in the day to how things are now. Do you find it easier though? Like do you like I feel that there's more of a chance to hear certain artists collab, and it doesn't seem like labels are in the way like they used to be. Like, you know, like say you wanted to do this album with J Hood back in 2005, it might not have been able to be done just due to like contracts and label execs, and you know, like how the labels are like, oh well, we want this cut of the money and all that. Do you feel like it's easier now to work with who you want to work with and make whatever kind of record you want to make?
Yeah, it's actually way easier now because we living in a digital era. So you know, I don't have to go like you know, I could go on the internet, so I got a CD and I can get the money from the fan directly. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta go through a label to get paid or this, that. So that's kind of a good thing, man. I love this time right now because, you know, it's a crazy time too, but if you finesse it the right way, you can make a lot of money on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I do well on the internet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So if you really strategize,
one thing I did want to touch on real quick though is one thing I wanted to ask you about though is we just had another death in hip hop with Pop Smoke over this past week, and you know, he's not the first one. We've had several murders, drug overdoses, whatever. What do you see in the young guys? Do you think that causes this? Do you think the internet plays a part in that because people want to stunt too much and either too much accessibility that it gives people, it makes people see you too much, and it gives people that are willing to ride on you like that. Like, do you think that has something to do with it, or like what advice do you have to like young bucks coming up in the game that to help people out? Like, we see a lot of this stuff, man.
For me, people need to be a little more secretive instead of being so open like that. You know what I'm saying? You could be open to a limit. Just you're going too far sometimes, flashing on the money, the jewelry, and all that. Let them see that when they see you. You know what I'm saying? When you're performing on stage, and you know what I'm saying? Just they going too far, man. But rest in peace to Pop Smoke, man. I just found out about him 2 weeks ago. I didn't even know about him. The guys in Brooklyn was telling me about him and shit. So, I never hate on the young guys that do certain type of music. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, he was all right. I liked this shit. He was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, as the kids doing the pills and drinking the lean, people got to change, son. You know what I mean? You're more alert when you're not on that stuff. You're more alert. You're more on point. He probably would have been moving a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Like, just got to be more on point, man. For real. This whole thing is kind of crazy.
That lean shit, man. Like that shit. That's just heroin in a cup, man. Like that. That's what it is, man. Like you get it. It's actually kind of more dangerous because it has that like sweet taste to it, and it gives you such a strong buzz that you want to do it the next day too. And before you know it, you're hooked on it. You get sick if you don't have it, and while you're on it, you don't get. You just keep wanting to get higher and higher, man, and like that, it kills way too many like genius fucking people, man. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't like the dudes, like some of the guys' music, like what's his name, Triple X from Florida and Juice WRLD, like all those guys, man. Like those guys were talented guys. Like, even if you didn't really feel all their music or anything, what they were doing was definitely special, and it was good. They were good at what they were doing, whether you liked the songs or not. Like they were talented guys. Yep. We saw it even before that with Pimp C and guys like that. And I don't think people really are aware of what they're doing. And I think that the knowledge of what they're talking about is important. Like you can hear, a record about sipping some syrup and think that it's just like smoking weed, but it's not, man. It's a whole different world, and I don't think a lot of people know that, especially the younger guys. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right about that.
I want to get your opinion. And I want to get your opinion on that, Twins. When do you think it started changing? Because I mean, coming up, weed was our fight. But then it did start progressing because, of course, for those that really know their history of the lean culture, it's really something that originated down south, and most notably Texas, with the codeine, promethazine. But in terms of with the pills and everything, where do you think the whole paradigm shift changed in terms of where drug use, in terms of the harder drugs in hip-hop, became fashionable?
I'm gonna say it started off. It started off when they first kind of presented that shit, ecstasy. That's when the hood got. That's when it was over. Because the guys in Texas was doing the lean, right? But I don't think it was. I think it was bad, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was that bad. I believe. Even though the lean fuck you up after a while, but I ain't gonna lie. When they would listen to the screwed music, I couldn't believe they was listening to that music like that, yo. Could not believe it. But they was like, yo, they on lean or whatever. But I think the lean and ecstasy was the breaking point. You know what I'm saying? That's when everything kind of went downhill from there. That's what I believe.
Right.
Because that was the first thing, and then you had the Molly, and then all the Percocets, and then everything else came in. You know what I'm saying? It was ruined the whole shit.
I definitely know what you're saying, man. And they back in like the late '90s, early 2000s, like 3 6 Mafia and UGK had Sipping on Some Syrup, and you got to just follow the line from there. Right after that, Lil Wayne blew up. He's a direct descendant of all those guys in the South. And after he blew up, you had Future come along. And a lot of people don't know Future's a member of the Dungeon family. He came up under, Rico Wade and all those guys. And those two guys were direct descendants of that Sipping on Some Syrup age. And when those guys blew up, they brought that with them. And it spread like wildfire, man. You know what I mean? And I think it's just because of, in the day and age we live in, man. You know what I mean? Where once you get popping, man, you're really popping, and people think that that's the standard. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to blame them because, for me, this shit didn't happen just naturally.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight. There's not one person to blame.
I know, but it wasn't naturally. Like, this is not a naturally thing. This is an orchestrated thing. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? So, that's what I believe. I don't believe this
Twins, I know what you're saying, man.
It's orchestrated.
I'm not going to name drop or anything, man, but on my old show, man, I had 3 different guests on 3 different episodes from 3 different places where they talk about that they were sat down and pretty much told what to rap about. And the guys that didn't follow that lead, you never heard from them again. A lot of guys that we look at as one-hit wonders, that's why they're one-hit wonders. They didn't play ball. And, there were certain people directing them in the, what to rap about. You know what I mean? And we look now, I mean, Dead Prez, look at Dead Prez. Dead Prez dropped a bomb-ass single, bigger than hip-hop, and the masses never heard from him again. And why is that? They never made a club record. They never made a drug record. They stayed true to themselves, and, only their true fans really heard them. Because if you go back and look at Dead Prez when hip-hop came out, they had deals on the table from, like, Shady Records and Interscope, and, they had deals from everybody on the table, but they were wise enough to know that, like, nah, man, we ain't going to be able to rap about what we want to rap about. And
basically, they don't want no balance. They want one way of hip hop. That's it.
Yeah.
And how do you think the marketing? And how do you think the marketing has changed? Because we're all older. I don't mind saying it. I'm 42 years old, a lifelong lover of hip hop. I'll be 85 in a wheelchair listening to it. Well, God bless, I won't be in a wheelchair, but I'll be 85 listening. But he came up. And Pat is one of the most astute and academic individuals, as well as an esteemed friend of the show that we have that knows his history. He understands it just as well as we do. When we were listening to it growing up as shorties, man, it was like the radio was, you heard everything from R&B to, the hip hop gully shit to even, the pop shit that wasn't pop in terms of its stuff. It was a variety, and now it's like there's almost no variety now. It's like you got to dig to really find the really good shit out there. Where do you think the marketing changed in terms of how? Dig. Yeah, where do you think the marketing changed? And me and King, Pat, we talk about this off the air as well about we feel like once the corporate entities, because hip-hop was, a lot of people would thought would go the way of rock and roll, but look at what rock and roll did in terms of how big it came. But people tried to write hip-hop off as a fleeting fad, like, KRS once said, out of here. Back in the days, people thought hip-hop, I knew hip-hop was something that would never die. But, people thought that it was just going to come and go, and it's here. It's part of American and world culture. Where do you think it changed in terms of where a lot of it, the essence of it began to get compromised?
The essence of hip-hop got compromised?
Yeah, in terms of where, traditionally where it was to what it sounds like now, some of it.
For me, when you say that it got compromised, for me, I look at it like it got compromised when the black dudes got labels and they didn't treat the other black people right. That's kind of when we got compromised. You know what I'm saying? So that's the real essence of it, if you want to think about it, because if Puff Daddies and Russell Simmons and all of them would have treated the certain people right, I think it would have went better. You know what I mean?
Right.
It would have been a better direction. You know what I'm saying? They could have taught. They could have taught to certain people how to make money and how to save and invest and this and labels, and they didn't really teach nobody nothing. They just ripped everybody off.
It's a situation where a lot of those guys, they came in, keep in mind, they came in with the passion, loving the music, and not knowing the business. So I think those guys, they took advantage of those dudes because they came in just want to make good music. They just want to make their mark, not knowing the contracts and the business not right.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt. One thing I wanted to touch on real quick is while we got a Queensbridge legend on the phone, man, I just wanted to give a rest in peace shout out to Hostile from Screwball. Black Poet and Comet and everybody, man. I just wanted to salute them, man. Screwball's a very underrated group from the bridge, man.
Actually, Hostile's on the first Infamous Mobb album. He's on the first Infamous Mobb album and killed it. Did the hook, fucking killed it, man. That's why people, Screwball. A lot of people don't know this. Screwball, the name of the group is named after Ty Nitty's brother. Ty Nitty's brother got killed. That was Poe's best friend back in the days. So that's why they named the group Screwball. A lot of people don't know that because Nitty brother name was Screwball. So that's where they get the name from. You know what I'm saying?
Literally a family affair. Look,
it's a family affair. So when you think of the Queensbridge, it's a family. I spent New Year's with Nas in Vegas. It's a family affair. Anytime the crew's in town, I'm there. He was with Mary J. and at the Hollywood Bowl. I went to that. I'm always, if anybody from Queensbridge is around, hit them up. I'm in there, VIP, everything. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow, man.
And that's
what's up, man.
And it's something, twins, because, of course, rest in peace to Kobe and his daughter Gianna, in a helicopter crash. It shows that in terms of what happens, how important it is to maintain those friendships. And, I don't think sometimes as people, we really understand how important it is to say I love you to those we come up with and how much we have to spend time with those that we love and come up with. Because as we saw with that, nobody saw that coming. How does it feel to be, Nas started in 1990 on, of course, with, Main Source Live at the Barbecue off of the Breaking Albums LP, Wild Pitch, and then 2 years later would drop Halftime. So, but he was the one that first wave. Mobb Deep, of course, with Juvenile Hell, I believe, would come in 90. 1992, 93 when they would drop theirs. But I mean,
yep.
All of y'all. But I mean, to see how is it just to see over 25, almost 30 years later? How is it to just look at everyone and be like, yo, man, look how far we've come. Look what we've done. Look what we've contributed, and we're still here, and we're all together. What is that feeling like?
Actually, we kind of never really had that feeling as a crew until a couple of weeks ago when we did Radio City Music Hall. When we did it, that's why we got this tour coming. Because we like, yo, we got so many hits, and we, you know what I mean? It just feels, it just felt good to be all of us to be together as a team, and it felt like how when we first started. You know what I'm saying? Even though P not there, and we had his daughter performing with us, and his son. It's a good feeling, man, for real, man. And I think, like if you think about it, a lot of the older groups, R&B and hip hop, kind of got back together and pushed all the bullshit to the side. Plus, we older. Like you said, I'm 42 too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we older, and I'm the youngest out of the whole Infamous too. Like I'm the youngest one out of everybody. Everybody else older than me. But it just, I don't know, it feels good, man. That was the first feeling that I felt like we of course, when we was making the music, you had that feeling, but like in a long time, I haven't felt that. You know what I'm saying? When me and Prodigy did the Blue Note, I felt like that, but it was just me and him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think that's why we got this tour going. Okay.
But it's something like in terms of flow cadence and all.
You know, and it's something to say, man, because, you know, so many times, I mean, we look at, the music is always appreciated, but I think as fans, we sometimes look at it that it's always going to, you know, our favorite artist, you know, our favorite, our, in any art, you know, whether acting, you know, and people even playing sports is an art to that, rapping, we always tend to think that our legends live forever, but the fact is we are mortal men and women. And I think that's why it's so important for, you know, I tell anybody out there, you know, when you have a chance to see legends, when you have a chance to buy their albums, hell, even go on YouTube just to listen to their stuff to really fully appreciate what their contributions are, you know.
Well, I think that's what's special about music in general is, like, yeah, we lost Prodigy, you know, 2.5 years ago, but Prodigy's here forever though. Like.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
The stuff that Mobb Deep has made, that stuff, like, that's never gonna go away. Like that sound and like them classic records. Like, who doesn't freak out when they hear that Shook Ones beat? You know what I mean?
Man.
Like, that's one of those records that, like, you played it in the mid-'90s, you can play it in the mid-2000s, and you can play it now, and it has the same reaction to everybody that hears it. Mobb Deep will never die. Like, Prodigy will never die. Like, he may not be here in the physical, but Prodigy will never die. That dude's a legend.
Forever.
Facts.
And the stuff that dude was talking about, insane, man. Like, the fact that, dude, I'm pretty sure he's the first rapper that talked about the Illuminati. I'm pretty sure that he's the first one.
On the Heligen Dialectic, right? On the Heligen Dialectic album? Okay, yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Mobb Deep albums back in the day.
Okay,
the Illuminati went from my soul and my body.
On LL Cool J album. On LL Cool J album. First time seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. Yeah. I'm thinking more of the Heligen Dialectic, you know, it's later years. But you are right, though, Pat. Now, we got to ask you.
I mean, you figure Jay sampled that shit on Reasonable Doubt on the Devil's Track. Yo, he sampled Prodigy saying it. I'm pretty sure he was the first dude to ever say that shit.
He probably on the joint what he did with the RSO fan where he talked about now we got the Illuminati all on our back. The War's On.
Yeah, the War's On. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was off the Gangster soundtrack, I believe, in 1996.
That you know, Mobb Deep. You know, every time I talk about Mobb Deep, I always call him the infamous Mobb Deep because I do feel that the Infamous Mobb was a huge part of Mobb Deep. That's one of the few groups where the extended family was very important. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, like you twins, man, like you and Nitty and Godfather, man, like you guys complemented that Mobb Deep sound so well that, like, when you guys were on a track with Mobb Deep, I didn't even really look at it as a feature. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, you're part of that. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, man, that shit is just timeless, man. Like, I can't even express how much here we are in 2020, man, and you're dropping albums left and right. You're doing, you know, cool-ass collaborations with J Hood from D-Block. Like, man, like, that shit is just so ill, man. Us as hip-hop fans, man, like, we appreciate that shit a lot, man. Just to see, you know, you said you were 42 years old, man. You still got that drive in you, man. Like, that's what's up, man.
I love it.
Two things. Number one, when I first heard Chinky sing, I was hooked. Chinky, that girl, look, the girl got, I was like, who is this boo right here? I like her.
Yo, when you hear the album, when y'all hear the album produced by DJ Skiz, Billy Ocean and Tina Marie, that's Billy Ocean Part 2. When y'all hear that, y'all gonna be like, that is crazy.
Man.
I'm trying to fit it in the year.
With Skiz, man, like that Billy Ocean, the Part 1, man, like, man, that joint is so hard, bro. Like, I can't even, it's one of those records that, like, if I want to listen to some other shit too, I can't even play nothing from it. Because once I listen to one song, I got to listen to the whole thing. So if I'm going for a walk or something, man, I'm like, man, I either want to listen to these, like, 10 artists or I want to listen to this album. Because I know once I play one song, I got to listen to the whole fucking thing. That shit is so hard, bro. Like,
you know what's
the whole sound behind 80, that shit, that shit's so ill, bro.
It's all 80 sample. Did you know that?
Yeah,
wow.
Man, that shit.
Yeah, the whole album
crazy.
is all 80 sample. See, a lot of people thought he was going to just use a bunch of 80 samples from America. He used some from Japan, from Italy, different samples from all around the world. So that's how we kind of freaked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Because they was making soul records everywhere in the world.
That's it. It's Infamous in the Hood project, man. Like, I never saw this.
Yeah, it's out right now, man. You can get that right.
Hood, man. Like, shout out to Hood. And Hood will be on this show. I just think there's a little misunderstanding why he couldn't make it tonight. But J Hood, he's always been real good to me, man. I appreciate Hood a lot. But
hey guys,
I always like
now,
the fact that he's willing to collaborate with people too, man. He got that dope project out with Yuck Mouse called Savages.
Oh yeah, it's fire.
Man, when I interviewed him and he told me that, I was like, what? You and Yuck Mouse? He's like, yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. He sent me that shit that night. And I was like, man, like, that's one of the dopest collabs I've ever heard, man. And, like, that's cool to see that, you know, he's willing to work with other people and, you know, from other backgrounds and shit. But the fact that you two have an album together, like that, like, I was super hyped to hear that shit, man. Like, just to hear a member of D-Block spin with a member of Mobb Deep, like the Infamous Mobb, like, that shit's just ill as hell to me. Like, you know what I mean? And then when I heard the project, I was like, damn, man, like, you guys took it serious. I think that I don't know, I got the vibe that you guys knew that it was important, that it was dope. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when it's D-Block and Infamous Mobb, like, you can't just go in half-ass and just spit some bars and move on. Like, you guys made it dope. You guys, like, that Where Will I Go shit, man, that's an anthem to me, man. I love that shit. And
you know, J Hood always kill around. Always. He come lyrical, crazy. His shit is fire. So, you know, look out for another 6 songs, 7 songs coming from me and J Hood real soon.
Okay.
Hey guys, I want to shoot this to y'all. I want to shoot this question to y'all here. Get off music for a minute. Now we all see the shocking events last night with the fight last night. You guys think Deontay Wilder is going to rebound?
He's disappointed last night, man. Real disappointed. I believe they're probably gonna set it up for a part 3, and then I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, and
I think he'll rebound, man. I didn't really like all the shit I've seen today online, man. Like, you lose one fight, and everybody turns on you like that. I thought that was crazy.
That's the world we live in.
Yeah,
they treat him like a king the day before.
Man. It makes you think like. It makes you think like how the guys we grew up on, how they would have been portrayed today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine on like a Thursday night and Jordan misses a game winner in a regular season game. Like, gee, Jordan's overrated. He's a bum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows like how those guys would have fared with the media today and social media? Like,
people was
it's
more
like
honest.
we hear all that
honest
ignorant
back
ass
in the
shit. People speak in their homes. We see it in the public now. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
People was more honest back in the days. You know what I mean? Nobody's honest no more.
Yeah, you're right, man.
You know, and
no
People
question.
want to go through what's trendy. People want to go through what's trendy, so they figure they make a funny meme on Twitter. Everybody else got to outdo that person. Even though they don't really mean it, they just want to outdo that person to get that attention. So I've seen a lot of crazy stuff they said about him today. The funniest one, I'm not going to lie, was the one they did with Martin, when Martin fought Tommy Hitman Hearns.
Oh, I saw
and
that.
They had his face
man. That was crazy.
Funny, yo.
Yeah, I mean,
I had to share that one. That was
a good one's a good one, you know.
You know, and it's
That's why you watch
something
what you
where
do on the internet, man, for real.
Yeah. You know, and it's one thing about it, I guess I'll be the last in the cipher with it. You know, one thing about it is when we look at it, and all of us, you know, were boxing aficionados, we came up in the era, you know, and really saw it at its peak. You know, well, I won't even say peak because it's all right today, not what it used to be. But one thing about it is that it shows that, you know, you got to be prepared from all sides, you know, in terms of when we look at the fight and how it developed. You know, Wilder is a hell of a puncher in terms of when he gets you with that right hand. But one thing about it is Fury was a very skilled fighter, and he showed that last night. As y'all said, I think Wilder has a chance to come back, but Wilder's got to really, really, put it together in terms of being a total fighter.
A true great, you can't judge somebody until you see how they handle a loss.
Right, exactly.
He might come back from this better than ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is going to help him sharpen up his skills. This is going to help him sharpen up his skills. He's going to be a better fighter.
Right.
He know he can't go in there running and knocking anybody out. You can't do that Mike Tyson stuff now. You got to have some skills.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. You know, every great champion has suffered losses, and it's how you overcome them and how you bounce back from them. That's what makes you great. So we'll see. You know, I'm not gonna say nothing bad about dude until I see his next fight and see how he comes back from that. You know, and like we don't know what it's like to get beat on like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit can change you forever. But I want to see how he does in his next fight, how he bounces back from it, man. Because I mean, for real, he might come back better than ever. You never know. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Like,
I think so. I was disappointed. He better do something. I'm ready to. He better do something, man. For real.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, man. You go back to, 1990, and look how Jordan played against those Pistons. Like,
and then he came back strong.
Responded to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm sure the next day after he lost to them Pistons, man, people were saying like, "Oh, Jordan ain't all that, man. He ain't shit. He's nice, but he ain't no champion." And then look what he did after that. You know what I'm saying? He got over that hump, took over the world. Like, so I won't judge him until I see how he bounces. Until I see his next fight.
You want to be, and I've said this in many of your shows, if you want to win in life, all you got to do is win. Like, you could have a murder case. You hit a game-winning jump shot, you win, and you good. They'll forgive you. Everything is good. All you got to do in America is win. Hit a home run, score a touchdown. They're going to forget every bad thing you did. Every loss.
Yeah, man. But like the part about losing is the only way you really lose is if you let yourself lose. If you lose a fight or whatever you're in, but you see why you lost and you improve on those things that made you lose and you learn from them, you didn't lose. You actually gained knowledge. So you didn't really take the L. If you'll take the L if you just accept the loss and never change it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
So it's how you
just
bounce back
win.
from it.
That's true.
No doubt.
You know.
But
now,
so Twins, man, let's give Big Twins the floor right now, man, and you know, let's. I want you to plug everything you got. Give us like your Instagram handle, all that, man, and real quick, man. Again, rest in peace to Hostile, rest in peace Pop Smoke too, and of course, rest in peace to Prodigy. And I just wanted to shout you out, Twins, and the entire Infamous Mobb and Illa G, all you guys, man. Every time I've called on you guys for an interview, man, you always came through. And, you know, like when P passed away, man, I hit all three of you guys up. All three of you came through, and Illa G, too. And I really do appreciate that, man. Like, that meant a lot to me. You know, I'll always remember that shit, that all three of you guys stepped up. And
no
gave
doubt,
me interviews,
man.
and every time I hit you up, man, you always come through. And, you know, I'm a diehard supporter of yours, man, and I really do appreciate you doing this interview, Twins, for real. And I'm sure my guys here do, too. But
yeah, we
the floor is yours, man.
Anytime,
plug
man.
everything
Anytime,
you got,
man.
bro.
I'm free. Anytime, man. Anytime free. But my Instagram, Twitter, Big Twins with an SQB. You can my album out right now. Infamous in the Hood with me and Jay Hood. Shit is a classic. I got another album out right now too called Queensbridge. Me and my man Dirty Diggs, producer. Just hit me up, man. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Big Twins. Hit me up. Look me up. I'm around.
Yeah, no doubt. And Twins, just a heads up, man. We're gonna get an interview with Jay Hood too, probably within the next week or so. When we air that interview, we're probably gonna re-air this one as well, just to you know, just some extra shit. You know what I mean? So if you see us, you know, promoting this again, don't think that you have another interview with us or anything. Like we're just we're probably gonna re-air this one. We're airing it live right now, but we might re-air it again when we get Hood, just to make it a complete episode. And I think it might have worked out better anyway, man. Like that way there wasn't five people on the line. We all don't bump into each other.
Let me know when y'all do J Hood. If I'm free, I'll definitely come in. You know what I mean? Kick it with you.
Oh, definitely, man. I'll definitely let you know, man.
All right, well, that dudes have a good night. And thanks, appreciate y'all, man, for real, man. Anytime I'm here for y'all. You know what I mean? We got to hold it down.
Appreciate
We'll keep in touch with you, brother.
All right, man. Y'all
Infamous forever, man. I appreciate you, brother.